I'm the Bob Ross of podcast, motherfucker. When I go to the grocery store, I'm pretty good at like assessing how much something's going to be by like, how much Price is Right is. Like I watch Price is Right enough to know that like our grocery bill is going to be like, well, that's going to be $45. That may be $100. But I fucked up this one time, and I was like $1, and I only brought $1, and all my groceries are more than $1, and I was had to look like a damn fool there, not having enough money.
That one day that you said, "Nah, dude, I'm going $1."
$1, I bet it's all $1. So that's all it took.
It's the closest you can get without going over.
Yeah. Can I offer you a Mountain Explosion Blue?
The Mountain Explosion Blue.
I actually have more of these than I remembered. I bought a 12-pack, but it turned into a 16-pack easily. You know the two things I despise the most when I turn on a microphone? A ceiling fan and an air conditioning unit. I got the air conditioning unit, but I forgot the ceiling fan. I know in all reality that I'm probably the only person that can hear it, and it just bothers me.
Right.
But I can't. It creates a low hum in the background that just absolutely destroys me while I'm editing. If I can direct your attention to the fan, did I ever tell you about the game that me and Ashley would play sometimes? We turn the ceiling fan on, and we get a sock, and we throw the sock at the ceiling fan and try to have it be tossed into a designated goal. Normally the laundry hamper. But if you look in the back right corner, you can see where a sock went up and did not come down. It's been up there. About every 3
Oh my god, there is.
Yeah, about every 3 weeks we notice that there's a sock up there. And I think it gives it character. I mean, what would my bedroom be without a sock on the ceiling fan?
Wait.
It would be a joke is what it would be.
There really is a sock that didn't come down.
Do you remember back in the instant story days? These things that we would see on television, these news stories, we would try to do follow-ups. What would you say the most uncomfortable one that you experienced was?
Probably the lady that we called about the people in Kentucky.
The Chuck E. Cheese.
The Chuck E. Cheese.
The
Because
Bowling
they
Green.
did not want to tell. They were like, no, yeah, that stuff's handled by our corporate.
They actually put me through to someone because all I wanted to do was talk to somebody. And they're like, yeah, we'll put you through to somebody. And they sent me on an adventure to a machine, which sent me to a ringing, which sent me to hanging up the phone. It wound up where they would hang up on me.
Yeah.
So you think that was more uncomfortable than the one where we called to follow up on if they had ever found the body that was stolen from the funeral home?
Oh.
I mean, he was cool, but that was just an uncomfortable situation.
We never did get him on the phone, though.
Because they were going to talk to me. Because they can't help that shit, man.
I don't even remember what exactly happened, anyway.
Somebody broke into that funeral home
And
when they were closed.
Yeah,
no, they were open. Somebody stole it in broad daylight.
like stole a body.
Somebody stole the body. I would like to find out what happened.
Yeah, now that makes me interested in wondering whatever happened, because the reason why the only reason why we wanted to find out was because it was hilarious, the fact that something like that happened. But
hilarious isn't the word, but I did chuckle. I don't think hilarious is the word. Perhaps like the irony. I don't know what the irony would be, but I'm going to use that word.
I don't know.
Hilarious.
It's very dark humor,
It's
but
really
yes.
dark. It's really dark.
But
I would only hope that somebody would steal me.
yeah.
That's my only hope, is to hope that somebody would steal me.
It was because the guy who ran the funeral home's name was, what was it? Was Dick Pick? What was it?
There was somebody was named Dick something. Or
His
Dick
name was
Dick Pickler or something. I don't know what it was.
Dick Tips.
Dick Tips.
His name was Dick Tips.
Here's the fucked up thing with CNN News, is CNN News will tell you that a body was stolen from a funeral home in Texas, and then they'll go on about their life and never tell you how it resolved. Did they ever find the body?
Did we ever come back to the story?
No, it was never revisited. It's not even shock and awe with them. They want the shock, and then they're too far gone to even want your awe.
They already got like 20 other stories within like 5 minutes to tell you the awe part.
they're trying to kill you with all of this bad news. They should call it Bad News. I would watch a show called Bad News. Why don't we should make the Bad News show?
Just straight bad
We'll
news.
go around town, we'll find all the bad news. Little Timmy Johnson, unfortunately, his dog passed away today, and we're here to get the story for you first. Timmy, how do you feel? Obviously bad. That's the point of the bad news.
We're that guy that walks in and says, well, I got some bad news and some really bad news. Which one do you want first?
I'll go bad news. Well,
Yeah.
bad news, your puppy's dead. It contracted a rare disease, and it's gone. Okay, what's the worst news? The worst news is it's airborne, and you and your entire family
You now
will be
have it
dead
too.
within the hour.
Right.
And after this, on bad news,
Yeah.
and cut to Wendy's. My favorite shit is like whenever they say something like, "What daily routine do you go through that is killing millions across the world?" Find out at 11. We'll tell you later.
They like to plant that seed like 6-8 hours beforehand.
Yeah, they
like
don't-
so that you have to spend the rest of your day going, what the fuck?
They don't care if you're gonna die. All they care is if your family's gonna watch the news to figure out how to prevent it from happening to them. It's close to Halloween. You're gonna be 30 on Halloween. Did I ever tell you about? I think I was like 14 or 15. Did I ever tell you about the time that I was walking and a truck drove incredibly close and threw a dead cat at me?
No?
Yeah.
On Halloween?
Yeah, on Halloween.
So that's not creepy enough.
We were trick or treating, and they were driving down the road, and immediately my response to it was, "Let's go. Let's move at least far enough out of the way for any incidents." So we kind of got out of the way, and they kept getting closer and closer, and then they leaned out the truck and threw a dead cat at me, and screamed, "Hail Satan!" I was like 14 or 15 years old, and I don't think that fazed me very much. And I think it's more shocking now to realize how little that fazed me than it actually could have
Yeah.
fazed me to begin with. It's like, how could that not have bothered me?
You were just like, wow, that's weird.
How fucked up was I? It's like,
But at
damn.
15 and stuff, I mean, that was during the time frame of where we started, like, getting in the alternative.
Yeah.
I mean, I know when I was 14, 15, that's when I was listening to, like, started listening to stuff like the Melvins and Slipknot and, you know, death metal and grindcore. And we grew up on, like, horror movies
Yeah.
in general. So it's not something that's completely out of the norm necessarily.
There was this one that I watched. One night I stayed up late on a Saturday night, and it was like there was a portal to hell that opened up in the basement of this church, and Mr. Miyagi was in it. And I don't remember much about it other than how creepy it was and how this woman kept having visions of like the devil. I don't remember any, but I fucking loved how scared that made me. But I will not pay money to go see a haunted house because my first reaction to fear is anger, and
Yeah.
that's kind of a defense
Yeah.
mechanism. So
Start swinging at people.
right, and I don't want that. Like, I'm not going to pay $35 to punch this guy in the face.
They get kicked out
To
anyway.
get kicked out and charged. What's the matter with you? He jumped out at me with a chainsaw. Well, that's kind of the fucking point. I'm sorry. Well, maybe you shouldn't come here. That's what I told her. That's what I told her.
That's what I told her.
I shouldn't come here, Ashley. I shouldn't come here. I've already told her that I just can't. Like, I just can't. And it's not because it scares me. It's just like,
it's not even that you were
it's not
afraid.
that it scares me. What scares me is how like, we're gonna leave
I
there.
think haunted houses, the whole purpose of haunted houses is it's taking away people's control on things. That's what freaks people out. That's why people get afraid in haunted houses. It's because all of your control over what's happening has been taken away.
Maybe a little bit of a control freak.
Like, so, because when you're they're taking your sight because it's dark. They're taking away your ability to fight or flight, like, system. You know, because that's human, that's, you know, animal nature, is that when something jumps out, frightens us, it's either fight or run. And haunted houses, you're not supposed to just fight, and you're not really supposed to run.
You
Hence
just
the
have to
one
sit there.
hand, you have to just take it. So they are in control and you're not in control of the situation that you're in.
And I don't like that.
And a lot of people don't. That's the reason why it scares people, is because they lose that.
Doesn't fucking scare me.
They lose that whole ability to be able to control the situation.
It doesn't scare me.
It scares you.
It doesn't scare me. Best case situation, I go in there, these 18, 20-year-old guys who and girls who have just so much fun scaring people, they scare me for 25, 30 minutes, and I bottle all that in, and we're driving home, and she's like, what do you want to eat? You want McDonald's? You want Burger King? Like, I don't fucking care, because all this is bottled up in me, and it's gotta
manifest its way somehow.
It's gonna come out. Like, you can't just oh, here's all this defense mechanism built up in your
right.
So I don't fuck with them, man. Like, I know people know their body, and I know my spirit. I shouldn't.
The last haunted house I went to, I was in Gatlinburg, and I had already known that the ending of it was that
somebody with a fucking chainsaw.
Yeah, of course. Go figure. That's exactly what was gonna happen.
50
at the end
years,
of that.
50 years of haunted houses, and that shit hadn't evolved a bit.
Yeah, it hasn't. And I knew that shit was gonna happen, and so as soon as we walked around a corner and over to the left, there's this room with a flashing light where you can tell it's a slaughterhouse look, with blood and stuff coming out, and you see a body get dragged into it. I was like, peace out, and I took off. Because we're in that thing where you gotta put your hand on your shoulders and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gone. I was done with it. It ran and went straight down the hallway, took the corner, and hit the button on the elevator to get out. I was like, I'm out, bro. So, just in case you didn't know, I love haunted houses. Or, I love the idea of haunted houses. I love horror movies. I love all that stuff.
I love horror movies.
I do not like haunted houses. It's not that I'm in any way, control, and you're saying, where you're not afraid. No, it scares the shit out of me. I'm man enough to admit that I do not like haunted houses. I never have, and I never will. I just don't know what it is about them that it's I can watch horror movies all day long and not be scared, and love them for the sheer fact that they're gory and that they have a storyline. And I want to know more about who Jason Voorhees is.
A gory line.
But as soon as you put me in that situation of being I can't fucking see anything. I can't move freely. They're telling me to put my hand on the wall. There's no fucking way I'm doing that.
I can't wait to actually have the playback of that, where you get the beginning of your part starts with, and I love haunted houses, I love horror movies, I love gore and all that, but you're but I don't like haunted houses. It's within a 3-second span.
I don't like being in haunted houses.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
I love their idea.
You did say the idea. I thought that was so funny.
I love their idea.
That's just almost a joke that I would want to steal from you, an unintentional joke. No, I mean, I love this and I love that,
but I hate this.
But
so
I
much.
hate this, which is the same thing as, hey, gotta quit giving away all that stuff for free, there, Mr. Daniel. Let's write that down in my memo pad here. I walked outside tonight. I recorded a video of it. It rained so hard that the courtyard flooded. It was flooding up over the little step up. The step up from the brick.
Yeah.
From the step up there, it was actually coming up to that. So I recorded a survivor's log day one because I didn't know if I was going to be stuck there forever. I mean, I was wearing my new shoes. I'm not going to walk in it.
You're I don't walk in it.
Am I staying at the radio station today? That's my creature.
From back here, it looks like a lot. There's the legs, and you got the arms right here. She's got her chest poked out. It's definitely got a woman's face with the eyeliner and whatnot.
But if you notice, there's bunny ears.
Yeah.
And a tree. And a little tree on her head.
Yeah.
You see the little tree? That's a nice touch. I'm the Bob Rossa podcast, motherfucker.
It needs to be your new catchline.
Dusty Radio, the Bob Rossa podcast, motherfucker.
Rest in peace, Bob Ross.
He just made the best of a bad situation. That's all it is. That's all you really have to do. It's hard to do sometimes. It's hard.
Did you ever see the thing about the fact that they were making a joke But then people started to be like, I wonder if that could end up being true about the fact that all the Bob Ross paintings in the world that he did, he was actually just showing people where he had the bodies. And they never figured it out.
Now you want to look under that happy tree.
He was just showing these scenes of like where he had murdered and put bodies.
I'm not a good liar.
No, you're not a good liar.
I'm not.
You're really not.
So I think I
You're not necessarily the worst liar of all times, and I'm giving a shout out to him as Brandon Krog.
I mean, if he's ever lied to me, I've never noticed. So maybe.
Worst liar ever. You don't remember that? You were there that night.
What night?
The night that I was on acid.
On Poplar Street?
Yeah. We walked through the door, and Brandon goes, Daniel's on acid. Took you motherfucker 5 seconds when you walked through that door to tell her.
Oh my God.
I mean, I would have told her.
He's gonna...
You were there though that night. I've never let him live that down too.
Wasn't that the night that I threatened somebody in my sleep?
There's yes.
Okay, yeah, I was there. So something was going on.